Today I'm out here with Martin. Martin, you recently reached out to me on YouTube and you mentioned you wanted to share your story. First off, how old are you?
I'm 21 years old.
And what's the story you wanted to share with me and my subscribers?
Well, basically, I want to share my story for awareness, and then because I see a lot of people my age or people younger than me that are trying to use drugs or trying to get into drugs, specifically blues. I've been on them for like 6 years, going on to 7. I stayed clean for 2 years, but I got in a car accident, and that's what led me back into using. It started off. Um, I got depressed. Like I got depression when I was 12 years old because one of my uncles made me do like really bad things, like really very inhumane things. Um, it was very bad, and then that's kind of one of the reasons why I live here in Arizona today. I started using booze when I was 16 years old. I was just experimenting with different drugs, and then one time I was at my cousin's apartment, and I just found one. I didn't know what it was, and out of curiosity, I just took it. And since then, I was hooked. I was hooked for like 2 years straight. After that, I was just off and on every now and then. And I met this girl, and then I fell in love with her. And then she said she didn't want to be with a drug addict, so I stopped cold turkey, and I stayed clean for 2 years after that. I got in a car accident uh, November 26th of 2018. I broke my right knee, I broke my right femur, and I got into surgery the first night after the accident. They put a metal rod in my femur, and since then, in the hospital they were giving me oxys, and they were just giving it to me like it was candy, like every 30 minutes, 40 minutes, they would offer me an oxy, and I was there for a week and a half, and I got discharged. They cut off the oxys, so they didn't tell me I was gonna be withdrawing, and then I started withdrawing really bad here at home. I couldn't take the withdrawals. I would wake up crying in my sleep. I would wake up sweaty. It would look like I took a shower in my own sweat, like it was that bad. I didn't know what to do anymore. And then knowing that I couldn't walk, I kind of like forced myself to walk. And then I did anything just to get a blue because I knew blues took the pain away. I knew, I didn't know if they were like, if it had fentanyl in it, but I know they were like muscle relaxers. Or someone told me they were muscle relaxers, but it was the complete opposite. It was just fentanyl, and it's basically poison because they put like a bunch of things in them, and then you don't know what you're getting. Any day you could get the last pill, and then boom, you're gone. I've seen it for myself. I've seen it happen to my friends. One day I was watching TV with one of my friends, and like I said, I was smoking weed at the time. I look over, and he's fine. Next thing you know, I look again, and he's gone. I didn't know what to do. I've been to treatment, professional treatment, 3 times, and the most I stay clean is like 2 weeks, and then I get back into it. Sadly, because of the area I'm in. I'm in a very bad area. It just sucks. I'm like on 27th Avenue in Northern. That's the area I'm in, and since then I'm off and on, and I don't really know what to do about it. And the reason I'm explaining this because I wanna give out awareness to know what it's like to be on them, and then I want to tell people to stop doing them. And I want to say that depression is real. It's a real thing. A lot of people suffer from depression and then anxiety. I used to have really bad social anxiety. I used to be scared to be around people. I used to be scared to be in crowds. And I overcame that just by going to concerts. But my depression, I still haven't got rid of it. I live with it every day. Um, Sometimes it stops me from doing things I love. I enjoy making music. I enjoy drawing. I'm a content creator. I love being creative. But because of the drugs and the depression, it makes me lose interest. And then sometimes it makes me not want to be here. It makes me not want to be alive. But I push myself because I know that suicide is selfish. And I push myself because I know if I'm gone, it'll affect others besides me.
Have you ever experienced overdoses?
I've overdosed one time in my life, like 4 years ago, and I overdosed on purpose. Actually, it wasn't an accident. I took 18 blues in my own bedroom at home, on purpose, just because, like I said, I was suicidal. I wanted to commit suicide. I took 18 blues hoping that I would just be gone in the blink of an eye. And I got woken up by paramedics, and my family was around me, and I just saw how everybody was worried. I saw the paramedics were like trying to keep me alive because I was actually gone for 6 minutes, and they brought me back to life, happily. Then, yeah. So
Have you witnessed other people overdose?
yeah. Sadly, four of my friends overdosed, and then last month I saw a little 9-year-old boy at the bus stop. He overdosed, and then no one was there to help him. No one really wanted to help him. I mean, I went over and splashed water in his face, but it was too late, and most people were just playing out their phones and recording, which is pretty sad to see. It's like, if you see someone dying, why wouldn't you try to help them instead of just, recording it for the media and trying to get, like, clout or something, trying to get views. Like, it's kind of sad that most people are like focused on social media nowadays instead of like trying to care out for others. You know what I mean?
What triggers your depression or anxiety?
Whenever I'm like really frustrated, or like I go through like traumatic events or like an argument with somebody, I get really depressed, and it makes me isolate myself. And then me isolating myself creates like a bunch of overthinking, and the more I overthink, the more it triggers me into using. And since I don't really have no one to reach out to, like, I have my parents, but they don't really understand what it's like. They think it's just an addiction, but it's kind of a disease. It's an addiction, but it turns into a disease after a while, because then you can't really go on through living with it. You start withdrawing, and the withdrawals start getting to you, and it starts affecting your daily life.
You told me you're going to be going to treatment very soon. When will that happen?
Hopefully, I was trying to go today, but if it gets too late today, hopefully tomorrow. I was trying to go to Aurora, because that's one of the treatment centers that I've actually gone to, and it worked out really well. They gave out good treatment. They have like activities for you to do. That way you're not just sitting in bed all day, bored. They have like a little living room where everybody's like gets together and you can just watch TV. They give you the remote, but then you have to give it back, of course. That way you don't lose it or something like that. They have radios for you to listen to music. After you're done with the treatment, they give you resources. That way you could you go to outpatient treatment. You go to like a 30-day or 90-day rehab. They're very helpful.
What are your plans after you complete treatment?
Well, obviously I want to get a job. Probably get my own apartment again. Get my life back together, basically. I wanted to start a YouTube. Basically to help out others, like, get all my story, like, just basically how I'm progressing in life and stuff like that.
How can people reach out to you if they want to give you words of encouragement or kind of see your progress? How can people reach out and talk to you?
Facebook, which is Martin, Martin, Urias, Urias, and my Instagram is I Hate Martin, which is IHATEMRTN, and that's where you can reach out to me.
So once you complete treatment, let's connect again. I'd like to follow your progress and see how you're doing. I'm going to give you a lot of kudos for having the courage to share your story, being vulnerable, and letting the world know the struggles that you're currently going through, right? So I think that's very commendable because not many people can do that. But you recognize that you need help, and I think this is your plea for help, right?
Yeah.
This is what you're doing is you want the community at large, the Lost in Phoenix community to, we can be your cheerleaders, right? Your supporters, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes that's what people need, strangers to kind of guide them, hold their hands and walk them through it and let them know it's going to be okay. Because sometimes family, like you mentioned, they don't understand, they don't know.
Yeah.
And sometimes people feel isolated or alone, and that might be your situation. But just know that you're not alone. um, and you invited me to your home, and here we are having a conversation. And because of this conversation, not only will you get better, but also somebody out there, a parent or a younger person, will be educated on how to avoid this, what to avoid. And if they're having problems with addiction or the temptation, peer pressure, anxiety, or thoughts of suicide and depression, that's they'll reach out. They'll reach out to somebody for help. So I'm gonna say thank you very much for sharing your story. I'm gonna say thank you for inviting me, opening up your home, and I'm very thankful to have met you. And I really want to talk to you again and see you in a better place, physically, mentally, and emotionally. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
any last words you'd like the listeners to know?
I just like to say, um, if it helps, reach out to me. Or if you guys don't understand, or if you guys have questions on what it's like to be on it, or you're trying to prevent someone else from stopping, or like using, or like just helping them in general with depression or anxiety, just reach out to me, or reach out to Lost in Phoenix, and then he'll help out, or I'll help out. I do anything to help out. If I can't really do much to help, I'll give out resources, and I pretty much want to raise awareness to stop this, because it's turning into an epidemic.
You're absolutely right. And together, we can do a lot to combat that and fight that and save people's lives out there, okay?
Yeah.
So thank you very much. We'll talk soon.
Yeah.